I had to pull out the big people voice there.
That's very good.
The big people voice.
I mean, I am yelling up at a battlement.
Yes, make a diplomacy check for me. Although everything seems to have crashed and stopped.
A diplomacy check? Most interesting. I was not expecting that to occur.
Do well, please.
That's not happening. The reason why Manaki and I flipped is because I thought this was going to be bluffing with all of the lies on account of the fact that, yes, we do want to kill them.
You do have 2 rolls, though, right?
Yes, we do want to kill them and take all of their things, but very well. Do you know whether it's actually working?
It doesn't seem to be working, honestly. I think I need to restart this.
I'm seeing nothing. Actually, I did see that roll.
So I'll go ahead and make my rolls then. I use the 2d20 there. That's 1, and that's 2. Yep.
This is not cool.
It's a bluff thing, folks.
Well.
I figured with as many
What's the highest roll?
12.
I figured with as many lies as I was pouring into the situation that it would be inevitable that a bluff would take place.
That is true, I guess. You can make a bluff check as well. Or rather.
Oh, making a bluff check instead seems like
Take back
Yeah,
this.
So
that's the...
go ahead.
altogether
and
favorable.
No, it makes sense.
There we go. How about 29?
29. Well done.
29, okay, let's see here.
I don't think you can roll.
That's
It's more like level 6 and everything.
No!
So that's the extra 10 from, the mask and its lies kicking in, because I'm sure the emotions of the thing, like, yes, I do actually want to kill you, and it's gonna be awesome!
But these dwarves, the Skizral will feast on dwarf meat tonight, no matter how this goes.
Fucking dwarves!
It actually seems that the impassioned pleas from both Rilinid and Arthin Oathsworn seems to be vying for equal attention almost with the Gnomish Lord, and he sort of he just backs off and he just shakes his head. This is all very complicated, don't you know? Yes, I must think on this, no doubt. Yes.
Great
goodbye.
sweets from the wonderful glory of Teresia itself, as was promised to you, Lord Gerne.
The Lord looks very confused and very scared at all of this, and he sort of backs away from the battlement and with a yelp he sort of disappears down behind
Seriously, we didn't kick him?
I was hoping I could save that there with one last.
Well, 29, I don't think we can do much better than that.
Well, that was only a 14 from me.
The dwarf glares down at you and says, "Well, it seems that we are inside the walls and you are without. Why don't you," he sort of waves a hand, "tear yourself to pieces now, because you're not getting in here, Drow. Oh, you are not."
It is rather amusing that you've decided to take over rulership of Fastervault in the absence of Lord Gary, almost as if you style yourselves creating a new kingdom of your own down here, with obviously the inevitable conclusion of failing just as Damahal did.
Dare not speak that name to me, Drow.
Damahal!
I will not listen to this anymore.
Damahal.
Because you are not entering this place, by my honor. And he turns around with a flick of his wrist and disappears down the wall, basically shouting something in Dwarven to the rest of the dwarves up there.
Oh, no, he didn't.
What is it that they shouted? Because I speak Dwarven as well.
He shouts, "Shoot them if they approach."
Aw, that is so mean.
Rilinid will throw back in I suppose now in Gnome, sort of like pleading to the guards. Are you so forgetful? Have you not heard the words of Tamer? Do you not read the legacy and history of Fastervault when the Zvirf Neblin overthrew the Duragar and claimed this place for their own? Would you so willingly take orders from these dwarves who seek to rule you, whereas we only seek to help you?
The gnomes on the wall seems to sort of move a bit. They don't seem to be really buying all of it, but they seem somewhat uncertain. So sort of Rilinid is fairly sure that he's sowing some sort of dissent in the ranks at least.
Do dwarves command all of you? Have you forgotten Lord Gerney's father and those who came before them, your proud history and heritage? Are you willing to throw it all away in one massive gout of bloodshed? Can we not have peace?
At this point, Rilinid sees one of the dwarves sort of, raising its crossbow and aiming at him.
And you're going to let the dwarves shoot for you? Trigger a war between the deep gnomes and Drow?
The dwarf shouts down in undercommon, "Begone, Drow, or I will shoot you!"
Rilinid will continue along in Gnome. Will you allow him to shoot me, Herald of Vathus, of Teresia, who brings only peace and the potential to make everything within your homes and lives better and safe from the dwarves?
The gnome fiddles about and like basically swallows and shouts back, "But I'm just a guard. I can't disobey orders. I must follow the Lord, and the Lord has allied with." He
The
seems
Lord has
currently
not.
distraught.
The Lord said he was confused. He needed to make up his mind. That doesn't mean he allied with the dwarves. That means that he needs to hear both sides clearly and better.
The dwarf once again, "Back off, Drow, or I will shoot you."
Once again, the Rilinid says a gnome. Again, he threatens with violence. We promise things that will have a meaningful and peaceful impact upon not just your life, the lives of every deep gnome living within those walls. Are you willing to stand by and do nothing?
The dwarf shouts over, also in Gnomish, "They travel with monstrous spiders and demons. Don't you see?" He turns again down to Rilinid. "Go away, I will shoot. This is the last warning. Festival ill needs saviors such as you."
The same can be said of you, you scampant attempter to save what has already been lost, for Damahall will never return.
The dwarf looks very angry. "Do not speak of that place, Drow. You know nothing."
Oh, I do believe I know quite a lot. Why, as a matter of fact, I do believe that in our travels, while coming across a ruined caravan that had been assaulted, I think we found an ancient relic of Damahall used and caked with gnome blood.
I suppose Alauneari will wait for Zyn to show the axe.
Then we'll walk forward and show the axe.
Now, this dwarven rune right here, along with the DA stamp, I do believe that would clearly indicate your intentions and the intentions of all dwarves.
The dwarf looks at the axe. "That is ancient from Damahall." He looks at it. "You have a relic of a lost kingdom, Drow. It is sacrilege for you to even have that in your hands." He sort of raises his crossbow, and you get the feeling that he is very close to shooting now.
To be honest, Rilinid is actually hoping that he does.
Having them shoot first would be a good thing, yeah.
Or we just build a giant rabbit.
I mean, alternatively, we wait, and our good little gnome girl opens the door in the night. I mean, we do have a day.
So,
It doesn't really
Stay
seem to be
here.
a door in this wall. It seems to be
Oh,
just a
it's just a
solid,
wall?
it's solid wall.
solid
Oh.
wall.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
I guess the question was going to be, then how are we going to get through anyway? I thought there was
Yeah,
a
how are they
gate.
going to open it?
I thought that was okay too.
There wasn't really a wall here when you came in last time. It seems to have been hastily constructed.
Yeah, you mentioned that, but then the whole question was going to be, then how the hell are we going to get anyway? This entire, like, half hour, maybe even 50 minutes was completely moot.
Let us in. How?
It seems as if it seems as if every
to make a door.
It seems as if every PC here kind of thought along the same lines. There's actually a way in.
You do see what you think are like rope ladders up on the crenellations.
Rope ladders.
It's rope ladders, yes.
That's disappointing.
Well,
They didn't have too much time building this, most
I
likely.
mean, we can have our gnome girl for the rope ladders. I'm fine with that too.
In that case, Rilinid, again speaking in gnome, will say, "Then chase after your lord and beseech him that he might return, so that some sense, or at least peace, can be talked into him, instead of the murderous rage of a dwarf whose time is long past."
At this, the dwarf shoots.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
I think we were all kind of expecting him to.
Yeah, we were kind of waiting. Just don't die, Grimith. Oh, you would be a mapper if you died.
I think I need to restart MapTool, so we'll take a quick 2-minute break here while I restart MapTool.
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Well, they took the first shot. Now we're completely justified in hunting down and executing every single one of them.
And eat them.
You see, if by some chance that shot misses, I'm willing to even let it go, just to show how magnanimous and great I am.
Oh, let it go?
Just let it go. Just to show that we are so committed to peace that even with a dwarf firing a crossbow, he does not speak for the entirety of Fasterval.
Well, that would surely prove a point.
And if it hits?
I think I'm still willing to try to sell that, but I might make a personal will save.
Curse, you little beast! I'm gonna murder you. Disgusting dwarven filth. Yeah. Well, as long as you curse in Elven, that's okay. Gnomes probably don't understand that.
That's right.
Curse with drow sign language.
You know, I was thinking about like throwing Dwarven back at him, but the gnome probably doesn't understand.
No. It would be best.
And we shouldn't
with no.
honor the dwarves by speaking their language, right?
Really.
No.
I love how I touched on some, some touchy points there. Just make a bunch of assumptions, remember what I learned from like metagame, like reading about the dwarves and Galarian. Go from there.
Alauneari is like, Damahal? What the? How much does this guy not tell me? Might have to have a talk with him at some point to ensure that.
Like, how much information can you squeeze out of Grimith?
Well, I mean, it's clear that he's a good herald. I mean,
I think so far we've been the most what's the word? Pacifistic
Drow they never
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
that might unnerve them more than anything. I think.
I know
the sergeant's like, what the hell is going on?
It's like he knows the plan. Like we've told him.
The biggest regret is that we left Lord Gairney alone to be manipulated by someone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were hoping that killing the sheriff would prevent this situation from occurring.
Yeah. If the sheriff would have been staying on the walls too, like, oh, I knew it all the time. They'd be like, oh, just kill them.
At least he's not there, right?
Yeah.
No, his ring is.
Like they resurrected him.
It's widow.
I have returned.
Well, at least our little gnome girl should be more dedicated than ever to aiding us. Honestly. With how she apparently was treated when she returned, being accused of everything.
That's kind of mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's all true, but
Yeah,
but still, right?
Didn't give her the benefit of the doubt, and her brethren sided with dwarves. That's just terrible.
Yeah. So now we are really saviors, and they attack first and everything. Yeah, it's like
We're the good guys.
we are the good guys. Yeah.
We're going to liberate them from the dwarven treachery.
We are, yes.
Suddenly,
And anyone
So-
who has been, we regret every death that has to be cost over this, you know? But we will stay here and protect them from further dwarven incursions.
The problem is that we wouldn't be able to sell this to like Lord Gairney, because then they would just corrupt it as saying the drow struck.
Well, no, but when we don't need to talk to Lord Gurney, right? Like the dwarves will kill him in their rage. They'll strike him down before we can come and save him, right? I mean,
It seems, Lord Vader, that in your rage, you destroyed him.
So
No.
obviously, you know
How can
that.
he be in doubt? They kicked him.
Server's up.
I know they kicked him violently.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he.
at least
entered
now we
into
know
a-
that the armory is burned,
It's
and
right.
they don't have any weapons, right?
It's
So
right.
that's a good thing. Like they have like gnomes armed with no spears and no bolts and stuff like that. So that's good.
At least
No.
you know he entered into an abusive relationship. We're trying to save him.
And
Yes,
and then
We are the
Draws.
good guys here.
like,
We're
what
now
he
the-
doesn't know is that we will put him in a gimp suit as soon as we saved him.
I got this. Put it on.
Could you try wearing it? Put it on.
Alignment's
That's
been
it.
flipped to chaotic good.
From now on, you love the whip. Yeah.
Damn
Kinda
it,
think
bluff
you
check of 29. Why couldn't you be better?
That was
No,
good.
no, but you know, Alauneari, it's probably good that she isn't the one to talk right now, because she most likely would have kept her. She would most likely have ordered the Skizral to go up there and throw those damn dwarves out on the ground so we could butcher them alive.
Alauneari's like, oh, to hell with it, kill them.
Yeah. Let's just storm this goddamn place. They can build a wall, but that will not hold us out.
You damn slow us down.
We live long lives.
That actually does hit.
That is a very good roll for him. Yes, he hits 5 damage to Rilinid.
I like to.
Why am I over here? I was.
Oh yeah, you were over there.
Yeah, I had to. It didn't save the last sort of setup on this particular screen.
You see,
All right.
So I like to imagine there's a shot, and then there's a moment of peace. There's Rilinid, the pained reaction is like hidden by the stone mask, but he obviously staggers back as more than half his health is taken, and then he blinks and he says, it's saying in gnome, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. And as a full round action, he takes out his potion of Cure Light Wounds and drinks it. Which cures what? Like 1d8 plus 1? Or?
Plus one.
Yeah.
No, we
Okay.
can always do some dramatic, and Tristan goes, Rilinid, no!
Alauneari will look shocked and appalled at this action.
Yep.
Yeah, some
The Skizral hisses and surges forward at this.
She sort of calls them back as she says, in Undercommon, not in a sort of tone that is loud enough for the gnomes to hear, but not so loud that they think it's meant for their ears. She'll sort of tell them to come back. Come back. This is an action taken by the dwarves, not the gnomes.
That's right. And Rilinid will quaff the potion of Cure Light Wounds, fully restoring his health, and then, the crossbow bolt that kind of lodged itself in his shoulder there, just like maybe like right below his chain shirt, just goes popping out. And Nomi says, "See? No harm done, for we understand that the gnomes of Fastervolt want peace just as much as we do. He's the one who, in anger and rage, fired his crossbow."
The dwarf looks indeed to be very angry, and he basically shouts to the deep gnome soldier to remove himself. And the deep gnome soldier jumps almost like half a meter in the air at this roar, and then scutters away yelping. And the dwarf looks down again at you, sort of reloading his crossbow.
Is
you
he the
hear
only
also.
person on the battlement?
No, you hear more approaching from the sides. The battlement is quite large, actually.
What an asshole.
Are they gnomes or all dwarves?
Seems to be most dwarves coming up, actually. It seems that the gnomes are actually being sent away from around the battlements.
Of course they would be. And then, Rilinid will end up, just sort of like evaluating the situation as, he takes another vial out, just to drink it, his vial of Gnome's Bane. And Undercommon says,
Very well. If it is death you dwarves wish, then we shall grant it.
The dwarves spit at the ground in front of the village. Bring it on, you dark-skinned vermin!
How the hell are we supposed to get up there, right?
Yeah, it's like, wow.
Send in the spiders.
well,
Yes, and in this.
obviously
You
they,
do-
they- go
You
ahead.
do know that you could, from like various things you have in your, resource cache of the army, you could construct basic ladders to try to storm the wall. You have resources for that, mushroom bark and things like that.
We do have a day, right?
So how far away are the dwarves? Like, how high is the wall?
It is of decent height. It is
2
basically
meters.
yes, 2 meter wall.
Good for a dwarf.
No, it is.
Good for a gnome.
It is roughly 6 meters. What would that be in feet?
6 meters in feet, let's find
We'll
out.
say roughly 18.
6
Alright.
meters, 19 feet, so 20-foot high wall by the game rules.
Yeah, 20-foot high wall, basically.
That's pretty damn high.
It is
What's-
pretty damn high. It looks makeshift at places, though.
My sling has a range of 50 feet.
Should have brought one of those giant lizards with us.
So the spiders can spider climb, I assume.
Yes.
They can just,
We-
they can
we
just walk
could-
up the
Yeah,
wall.
I thought
We
of
could
setting
give
them up
our
there.
ropes to them and have them.
Yeah, the wall
do
is
something.
rather wide at this place. You think that if you were sort of to attack, you would probably hit the wall at many different points, and the positioning yourselves to be the arrowhead of this attack might be a good way to sort of try to break through. Yes, you would think that you would be fighting at least 4 different, maybe 5 different places along the wall here if you try to actually breach it.
Well, I guess we retreat and prepare, or do we just charge right away?
That's the question, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like
Like
if
right
we
now,
charge
they are
right
not-
now, we would be able to attack 4 places, is what you're telling me?
Yes. You can still attack 4 places. I mean,
Yep.
the next
with,
day too.
With a combination of ropes and grappling hooks and shit like that.
Yeah.
We would make our way up ourselves without building ladders, which I kind of think it's determined at this point. If dwarves have suddenly legions of dwarves have stormed out, it seems that the deep gnomes are just kind of content to just let it sit by one way or the other because they don't know what to believe. We're basically fighting dwarves here for Fasterval, and I think the longer we give them, the more dangerous they'll be.
At least the longer they'll have to prepare. Perhaps, yeah, we should just get it over with. I mean, should we just go to hell with it and attack? I'm so close to just declaring that.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have the spells I have prepared then. But nothing else really. All right, yeah, let's do it then. Well, I suppose seeing this and Rilinid, Alauneari will sort of raise her hand. The soldiers behind her, hopefully seeing this, or at least the sergeant being ready to continue her command, and she will give the order to seize this wall by force and to slaughter any dwarves that stand in our way. She'll of course say this in Elven.
The sergeant salutes and grins wickedly. It will be my pleasure, my lady. And he grabs a signal horn by his side.
She will also tell the 2 Skizral that these dwarves are there for the Skizral to feast. We will attack now, and she would like to see how they themselves think they could best be deployed. She would like to see their battle prowess used as they think it should be used. If possible, clear ways for us to get on the walls, and then keep doing that until as many of our troops are on the wall as possible.
The Skizral hisses And Skethic turns to Alauneari. My lady, we can weave ropes for your troops to climb the walls, yes.
She will seem satisfied and said, "Yes, good. Do so and let us slaughter these. Tonight you will feast on dwarven flesh."
Excellent. And they take a few step back, sort of out of arrow range, and you see them quickly start weaving the strange silken filament that they do.
I'm sorry, by the way, Team PC. I really tried. I don't know how much better I could have done there.
Yeah.
We did all we could in this situation. For we up top.
But I mean, we could have, of course, done better diplomacy, tried to do better. But I don't think the outcome, the deep gnomes left, the dwarves would never leave. I think this is as good as we could hope for. We could wait and see if our little gnome friend tried to do anything. But with these dwarves on the wall, they probably aren't going to leave any time ever. Actually, so
it's like we could give it a day, and maybe Lord Gurney would make up his mind in our favor. But
what's that even? Like the dwarves would not leave even then, and the Sniffleblade would never attack the dwarves, right?
Right.
So yeah, Alauneari gives the order for her troops to attack. I'm sure the sergeant has set up like regiments and stuff like that.
Yes, there are like smaller detachments, and
direct them at different points.
Yep, and when he blows the signal horn, the troops basically charge forward.
Yeah, time to give into their bloodlust and allow them to slaughter these cursed dwarves. They shot first.
That's right. No matter what, we can truthfully say that it was the dwarves who struck first. No matter what. We will always have that, truthfully.
I never will.
And
we can give it back to the leader and say, here.
And since Zyn is part of the advanced party, is just going to start shooting as well.
God damn it. I wanted that to work so bad.
Yeah, that would have been great, but now it's time to murder these asshole dwarves.
What range is this? 90?
He rolled like a natural 20 on his diplomacy.
Son of a bitch!
Nice looker and like, throw the dwarves over the walls!
Don't you know?
Yeah. I think we've had enough of them.
No, quite. Hail the drow overlords, yes. This is a representation of the wall where you guys are pressing on. Your troops are at either side of you, basically battling all along the wall here. But this is sort of your section, if we say.
Sure.
Now, these guys have higher ground than I imagine some kind of cover against us as well?
Yes, they have light cover.
All right.
This is not the battle I intended, but at least there are no deep gnomes. So, yeah, I guess if if this goes relatively painlessly, we could have. They probably didn't expect this, as everything occurred.
Let's see.
Attempt.
And since they are dwarves, if you have the racial trait, you get +1 to hit.
I suppose I do. Not that I'll hit anything anyway.
They might have some powers of their own that allow them to hurt elves. Or
probably.
Attack them better.
Time to grease that wall, huh?
Grease.
Play flopper around.
Alauneari is the first to act.
Oh, didn't see initiative at all. There we go. Well, all right. I suppose Alauneari will take her action to cast her Shield of Faith on herself. And why the hell are the Skistral so far back?
They're making rope.
They're weaving. Yeah, they're weaving rope.
So we can't actually get up the wall right now.
You have at this point they are quite fast. Let's say so. You have 2, basically, grappling hooks and rope worth of spider silk. It gives a +5 circumstance bonus to the grappling hook roll because it's sticky.
Right. So who has them at the moment? I don't think Shell really is here.
You can decide by yourselves who has.
No, she's here. She has the obsidian longsword, totally.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Sure. I suppose Rain would make sense. I guess Alauneari, or I'd rather have Rilinid have the other one really, but maybe he wants to shoot ranged combat.
He wants to something these dwarves.
Would he like the grappling hook thing?
I guess you can give it to me. Yeah, I have one of the best accuracies with regards to throwing.
I guess Alauneari will move here then. No armor and everything.
Zyn.
Zyn is going to shoot at Dwarven Explorer 3.
God, then how big is this party? Like 13 dwarves and a hobbit.
So they do have cover. How much does it give them?
It might already be factored in.
Almost likely partial cover.
How much is that? Minus 2 or something?